Hey guys, welcome back to iNVision Prototypes. Nick here. Today we're doing a little bit of upholstery. I'm no expert, I know just enough to get me into trouble. We're going to be upholstering this rear speaker deck. We're going to keep things really simple. There's not going to be any stitching involved, just a little bit of gluing. We're going to glue this 1/8 Landau foam down onto the metal. This has been all wiped clean and prepared. And then we're going to take this leather, which I stuck from the upholsterer, so hopefully she doesn't miss it. And we'll glue that down over top of the foam, wrap everything, pop the grills in, and finish this panel off. We can't install this piece yet because all the other pieces have to be done, but it kind of gives us a head start, and I kind of like to step out of my comfort zone and try something new. I don't do upholstery every day, I do metal. Hopefully we don't get into too much trouble. What you're going to need is a pair of scissors, razor blade, and some high adhesive. This is a high strength 90 spray adhesive. I'm not going to say who makes it. You can find it on the Jungle website. It works really well. If you use the stuff from the orange box store, it has a tendency to come off under high temperatures or under increased temperatures. It gets pretty hot inside the car with the windows up, and if you use that stuff, it'll just all come peeling off. So get the good stuff. It's a bit of money, especially for a small can. If you want to get a 5-gallon pail, go for it. But in terms of just small pieces, this is all we use. And it works for rubber seals, just about anything you want to glue to anything. So we're going to use that. All right, let's move this out of the way. Now I cut all the pieces ahead of time just to save a little bit of time for working on this. And we're not going to take and wrap it all the way around the whole panel. It just needs to take and roll down into the area where the rear door comes in. So I'm just going to line this up, make sure everything's good. Just like that. And again, we don't need to roll up the rear flange because we just want to cover the top surface and give it a nice cushion feel. You know, you don't want to be hitting metal when you touch the leather. You want a nice foam feel. And then we have our little reveal around there. So, okay, let's get started. So after everything's wiped clean and prepared, go ahead and spray this on. This particular bottle or can has 3 settings, low, medium, high for the amount of spray that comes out of the can. I like to set it on medium. I don't want it to spread out too far and make a mess. The other thing is I'm going to use a bit of cardboard to kind of help contain the spray. And it comes out in a kind of a web form. Ooh, that's weird. I guess I should have cleaned it out before I sprayed. Okay, there it goes. So you don't want too much on there. Give it about a 50% overlap. Like I said, I'm no expert, but you don't have to be an expert to try something. Okay, just to make sure that we're good, get a little bit around this profile, around the edges, and there. Give this about a minute or so to tack up. When you can touch it with your fingers, don't touch the panel, touch an area where it doesn't matter. As soon as it tacks up, we can go ahead and overlay the foam. Okay, perfect. You want to center it because once it starts going down, you won't be able to move it. You can make sure it lays in everywhere. And there we are. For features like this, I understand you need a little bit of heat to kind of let it settle down into where it needs to. So that's what I'm doing with my fingers. I'm just rubbing it, and that friction creates enough heat. If you need to get more stretch, get a heat gun. But don't burn the foam. This is a closed cell foam, so it doesn't deteriorate. It's nice and dense, so it's not going to have any ripples in it once it's cured. So like I said, we're not wrapping all the way around the front there. So I'm going to take the razor blade and just slice the foam back to where it starts to roll over the edge. Got a little bit of adhesive on there, that's okay. We're going to be putting more on in a minute. So you want to make sure that it's really stuck on. You can use a roller. If your hand's big enough, just run your hand over it. And make sure you get the proper ventilation, because this stuff doesn't smell too great. Unless your goal is to get high, which I don't recommend. Yeah, I know, I'm a killjoy. All right, so that's all down. This final edge, like I said, we're going to take and trim that back. So let's see, how can we do that the best way? Let's get a crate. So what I'm going to try and do is run the razor blade along this flange area here. See, that's kind of peeling up because there wasn't enough adhesive, but we'll take care of that. And what you're going to do, what I'm going to do is, come on, this is a new blade. It's not cutting the way I want it to. I'm just going on the radius, that's perfect. So I'm using my thumb to run along the inside, as well as my middle finger to run on the top side. Because we have a door that closes into this area, we don't want it chafing on the leather or on the foam. We want a bit of a space there. And what I did here was I cut back once and cut back the second time where I can actually see where I'm cutting. A little bit of a hiccup there, that'll be okay. Let's clean this up. When you do this every day, you get systems down. I'm doing what makes sense to me. All right, there we go. Okay, that turned out really well. I think the other thing we're going to do is trim up the sides. And we should probably cut out these holes. Sharper the blade, the better the result. So get a fresh blade every time you go to do something like this. Okay, we're going to wipe everything off with a bit of lacquer thinner. Because once you start gluing, you don't want to try getting the material or the panel clean. Okay, that looks really good. I like that a lot. I'm going to take one of the speaker grills, drop it in just to make sure that it still fits. Perfect. Snaps right in there. Now, what I'm thinking, I don't want the speaker grill to sit up higher than the rest of the panel. So what we're going to do, we're taking cut around the two grills so that they sit down into the foam. These little plastic clips, these little plastic clips aren't enough to suck it down. Oh. Let's see if we can peel that foam off. I didn't think of that earlier. We may have to cut it off, I don't know. Oh yeah, there we go. I have to clean that corner up because a little bit of glue did stay behind. This stuff really sticks well. Okay, it's good. And now for the moment of truth. This time we'll clean the tip up, make sure the spray comes out consistently. Now perhaps I should have done halfway, but why not? Let's do the whole thing. Kind of late now. I'll do this portion later on. Okay, that's enough. Let that tack up. Now you do have a little bit of time to play with this before it really sets. So let's hope we're not wrong about that. Good. Work from the middle out to get rid of any bubbles. May get a little bit of heat on this, I don't know. I've seen them do it on television. That feels and looks really, really good. If you get a little bit of glue on this, don't touch it. Let it set up and then take it off, and it should come off. Yeah, we're centered. And now for the front. You want to make sure we get down all the way into that seat. Okay. Now we wait again. I'm not cutting this, I'm just using one of those automotive trim removal tools with a very blunt end to get this in. There we go. Okay, that's not bad. Now for the final. Once we have this rolled all the way around, then we can go ahead and nip the ends, tuck all the ends, fold all that in, and cut out the speaker grill holes. Good. Good, good, good. This is exciting. A little bit of dust there. Okay. Now, since we've been spraying onto our table here, we don't want to roll this over. So we're going to clean this off. So we can turn this down to low. Now, in order to wrap the bottom up and over onto this flange, we need to take and remove this excess material on the corners. So I'm just going to cut it, I guess, like that. There we go. Cut that. Now, I've got about 1.25 inches on each end. It is a little bit much, but I think we're going to leave that. That's good there. The same thing here. We can't roll that down until okay, let's roll this up. Never be afraid to try something that you haven't done before. If you mess up, worst case, you peel it off and you start again. Yeah, this is a bit much. As soon as you roll this down, we'll trim this back a bit. There. Okay, this is dry. Or tacky, I should say, not dry. If you happen to get glue on your hands, gotta be very careful you don't get it onto the outside of the panel where you're gonna see it. Best is to clean your hands. There we go. All right, that's it for that. Roll these tails in, like that, and cut that back. Okay, so that's the main area finished. And it feels good, looks good. A little bit of dust there, that's okay. We'll get that cleaned up. There's no adhesive anywhere. Next tricky part is going to be to cut out these holes. And I'm not going to cut along this metal edge here because we need to take and roll the material inside, but we can't roll over too much because of the radiuses. It's not going to roll very well. It's a lot like sheet metal. So let's go 1/2 inch. See, the line I'm going to is this line when I'm cutting. I didn't bother drawing anything on. And for the final gluing, let's keep that low. Clean this tip off. From the back side, I'm kind of pressing the material into that little reveal that we created for the speaker grill. We got to make sure that we wrap it tight. Otherwise the grill won't fit. Okay. What we'll probably do is snap the grills in while we're doing this. Okay, that's one. That's it. It's just about flush, except for the material. We've added material, so that's the reason it's staying up a little bit. But that's really nice. Yeah, we'll get these all cleaned up. This is just construction dust. We don't want that later on, but I need the grills to suck the material down while it dries. And then we'll go ahead and pull them off and detail the grills. Oh, sweet. All right. They're clipped in all the way around. You see, snapped in on top of that the leather flange that we rolled over. So that's good there. And yeah, that's it. Okay. So what do you think, guys? It's going to sit kind of like that, maybe a little more of an angle inside. But we're done. So from a sheet metal piece to a fully upholstered panel, you've seen it all here at iNVision Prototypes. I enjoy continuity. I know we did this panel a while ago, but hey, you know, everything takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. I've heard someone say that. So there we go. So once all the other interior pieces are done, then we go ahead and start assembling and getting everything into the car for the final time. That's when things are going to shape up. You saw earlier how we had the center console and all that kind of finished. Well, that'll all get installed once the rear panels have been put in, because I don't want to be clambering over top and trying to jam things around that center console. So, okay, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you saw something I can improve on, throw it down in the comments. I really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.